You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.
Good evening. This is Cece Shack.
And this is Christopher T. Kit Smith.
And welcome to...
Let's get started with online dating on Boy and Girl Thing Live.
It is great to have you guys with us tonight, and we hope that you're enjoying the show as equally as we are. So tonight we're going to talk about that crazy topic, online dating. So take it away, Chris.
Well, since we're just getting started on this adventure, we thought what we would do is take a look at having you get started on this adventure of online dating. We're going to give you some advice, some tips, maybe some instructions, and even if you're someone that's already into it and you're dealing with a lot of the disappointment, disillusionment, discouragement, there will probably be something we can give you tonight that might help you have a better outlook and start having a better time.
Online dating is the thing that everyone's doing now. Everybody gets on the internet, everybody, even the, I hate to say older people are doing it. And you know what? It's really kind of the in thing to do, and it's quite successful.
Well, years ago, let's say when the internet first started to blossom, you could say that internet dating, online dating websites were a phenomenon, a fad, a novelty. That's really no longer the case. We're now at a point all these years later where it's every bit mainstream. And there are statistics that bear this out that say more and more relationships, serious relationships and marriages are being created by people meeting each other on internet dating sites each and every year. That percentage is going up.
It certainly is. And, you know, it's just amazing how online dating is not a fad anymore. It's the real deal. So tell us a little bit about what are the top dating sites?
I just did a little research this afternoon, hoping we would get into this topic. And it depends upon how you would like to rate them. But let's say when it comes to monthly visits or the number of subscribers, good old Match.com is right there at the top. They get 20 million monthly visitations. Number 2 is Zoosk. And if you look, as an aside, if you look at any ratings that are done on Google, or you look up any site that does these ratings, you'll find that Match and Zoosk are at the top of just about any kind of criteria used to rate the sites. They're the busiest. Then you have a site like Elite Singles, OurTime.com, or SeniorPeopleMeet.com, which are kind of one and the same, and eHarmony, the ubiquitous, am I pronouncing that right?
I don't know. What does that mean? Hey, I'm a blonde.
eHarmony.com, which I have my own personal thoughts about that one. It's very different from how all the other sites function. But generally speaking, these are the top 5 sites and the busiest sites for internet dating.
I'd like to just throw in there real quick. We'd like to welcome the station WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. They are also live with us tonight, right along with Blog Talk Radio. And so it is so great having you all with us. I'd like for you guys to call us and ask us any questions that you like, because Chris has done his homework and you can ask him the questions. It's 323-870-4162. And we would love to have you call us. The number again is 323-870-4162. And that is a toll-free number. Shouldn't cost you anything to call. We'd love to get your call. So, call us.
Absolutely. Looking forward to talking to people. All the lines are open, so you can just jump right on in here. Don't let me do all the talking.
Please. Okay, come on. Tell us all the good stuff about these dating sites, and then I'm going to tell you the funny stuff.
Well, I've been a Match.com user right from the very beginning. It was the first site that I ever signed up for. One of the great things about Match.com is they've refined the process very well. It's an easy site to use. They have a lot of features. They don't put up with a lot of crap. So, as far as the scammers and the frauds and things, if that's happening to you on that site and you report that person, they're usually taken off the site right away. They don't put up with a lot of that nonsense. Even though I may say that I like Match.com, I understand that there's going to be people out there that probably have had some experience with a lot of the different sites, and you may not agree with the ones I think are the good ones or the ones I think are the best. And what really constitutes the best? What makes the best dating site?
Well, I think at the end of the day, the best dating site is the one where you actually meet the right person on. And so then when you meet the right person, you're saying, "Oh, hallelujah, this is the best dating site ever." But unfortunately, we have to kiss a lot of frogs, and you guys got to, shake hands with a lot of princesses.
If you check out my profile, you'll see that I have the frog picture on there. Go ahead and kiss me. I turn into a prince.
So anyhow, if you just give it a try and really be yourself. But I think there are some elements within dating that, online dating that we do have to definitely talk about. One I wanted to bring up was eHarmony. eHarmony is quite a cool site because they really ask you a lot of more in-depth questions. And I myself on a dating site, and I look for the depth of the individual. So I do read those profiles, believe it or not. And so that is kind of gearing me, even though I look and say, yeah, he's kind of good looking. And then I look to see if he smokes because I'm not a smoker. I look to see if he drinks because I really don't care whether he drinks or not, but I'm just curious to see if he drinks because I drink, occasionally. But I do read what they say because I'm looking for someone that's got a little bit more depth to him, someone that's willing to kind of step out a little bit and share something about himself, not necessarily say, I like baseball, I like football, I fish. I need more than that, guys. So anyhow, that's one of the things.
eHarmony, this is a unique site that's really is set up differently from all the rest. Neil Clark Warren, I believe, is a doctor of psychology, and he created this site with the idea that the best relationships are all about compatibility. Now, it doesn't take a PhD to say that. Of course, that's the case. Okay? The more compatible you are, the better your relationship is going to be. The difficulty with eHarmony and what makes it so different is their lengthy questionnaire to begin with. The fact that after you fill it out, they provide you with the profiles that you're going to view. You can't do an unlimited search and look for whoever you want. They provide you with the matches. The other thing that my personal feeling about it is that the compatibility part of it, yes, absolutely. I agree that those are the best relationships. But with meeting people from the internet on online dating sites, it's all about chemistry. And you will read this at the end of virtually every profile. It's wording to some effect that says, and if we have the chemistry, or I need to feel the chemistry. Again, words to those effects. I say that you're not getting to the compatibility test if you don't pass the chemistry test.
Let me tell you a story about eHarmony. I have a great friend. We're very close. She's wonderful, beautiful. I mean, she's got her head on her shoulders. She has her own business. She's a delightful person, funny. I mean, any guy would go out with her, and she is single, guys. But she went on eHarmony, took the in-depth questionnaire, and they came back saying that she wasn't suitable for the site.
How about that? Yeah.
And I mean, this woman is like drop dead in all areas. So, I mean, that totally, I was really shocked by that. I was absolutely shocked by that. So that goes to show you that, it really doesn't matter. There is a lid for every pot. There is someone out there for you. And I do believe that when your vibration is high enough, you will meet the person that's at that level that you will meet. So don't get discouraged about these dating sites, and don't put everything into them like, oh, you're going to meet Mr. Right or Mrs. Right or whatever. Just go with it that you're going to make some friends along the way. You're going to have some fun with it, and just kind of enjoy it a little bit. And, who knows, maybe you'll meet some people that maybe won't be the one for you. Maybe the chemistry isn't there, but you had a great time, you made some friends, and that's what it's all about. So, it's your circle of friends that really makes a big difference. So let's talk a little bit, Chris, about, and I'm not sure, Chris, if you like to be called Kit or Chris, because I call him both things. It depends on my mood.
Just don't call me late for dinner.
It's just my mood. As a woman, as a normal woman, it
Mm-hmm.
depends on my mood. But let's talk about some of those things. Like, I've been on the site and there's like this totally awesome guy that looks like he just fell out of a magazine that's on the site.
You saw my picture.
And he's emailing me, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh.
So you responded. Here
I
I am.
I responded. I got nothing. Nothing back. No reply. Nothing.
Well, that seems to be an accepted protocol of lack of interest.
No, I think it's dating site.
Dating site protocol.
Yeah,
Right.
dating site. Well, these dating sites, they have these generated profiles, and they circulate, and that's just kind of some of the secrets in the industry. And so they circulate, and so you're going to get this drop dead gorgeous person that's really not real. It's just a computer generated email that comes
They
to
wouldn't
you.
do something
Yes,
like that,
they
would
do.
they?
So don't
No.
get discouraged when, and as you're picking yourself up off the floor, don't get discouraged about that, because, it's just, okay, it is part of the thing, the way it is. I mean, it's a business. Online dating,
There's
for
no
these
question.
online dating services, it's a business to
There's
them.
no question about it.
So they
And
want to entice you. Like, for instance, you have Plenty of Fish now. Plenty of Fish is a free site.
free to
and-
use. Yes.
Right, it's free to use, but they have an upgrade to it. And now
Yeah.
they have like a meet. I'll get these, and I'm on Plenty of Fish, so if anybody wants to find me, I'll get these texts or these emails all the time. They'll come on my phone. He wants to, such and such wants to meet you. Such and such wants to meet you. And then you click on it, and they ask you for the upgrade. That, again, is a generated email that goes out to you. And I don't know whether the guy or the gal wants to meet you or not, but it is a way to entice you to spend a little bit extra money to be able to, to go into that particular range. Now, I'm not saying that's not bad. Maybe you do want to go ahead and step it up, pay a little bit extra, get a little bit more of the, the perks that they have. But just know that, this is what they do. They do try to entice you for you to spend some money, for you to be on there.
They do it nowadays. I don't think it's quite as prevalent as it used to be with the fake profiles. I used to see those all the time. In other words, this is my match ahead of signing up for the site. How do they know that? But they would be pictures of beautiful ladies, and to me, the pictures always looked like they were coming out of a Sears catalog. But at any rate, I don't quite think they're doing that like they used to. But that what they want to do is upsell. Okay, Match.com, for example, is a site that you have to pay to use. Their fees are very reasonable for the basic service. But if you want some of the enhancements, well, then, yes, there's, this is going to cost a little extra. That's going to cost a little extra. But in most cases, though, it's worth it. It's really, really not talking about a big expense, okay? But to get back something earlier, we're talking about eHarmony. And to me, what is the biggest difference about meeting someone from an online dating site versus the traditional or conventional way that we all used to. You and I are of an age that we predate online dating sites, okay?
That's pretty sad. Don't be sharing that with people out there.
But my point being is, how did we traditionally meet people? And that was...
Don't tell my mother.
that was by sight.
Yeah.
And when I'm not going to get up on my soapbox here. Well, wait a minute. Yes, I am. I'm going to get up on my soapbox here for a minute and say, to start out, we share an unbelievably high percentage of our DNA and our genetics with the animal kingdom. Now, who hasn't watched a Nat Geo show or Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom at one time or another and watched the animal mating process? It's all about sight, sound, or smell. Look at the birds. The birds go crazy with physical. They can come up with some wild mating schemes. But my point is, essentially, that's how humans have always done it too. Sight, sound, or smell.
That's true.
There's something that attracts us to somebody, and it's an animal instinct. We have an attraction mechanism in our brain, but science doesn't know exactly what triggers it. Why are we attracted to one person and not another? And what makes us want to learn more about somebody? Because the attraction mechanism has been triggered.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, we want to thank you all for listening to us. We want to thank our show host, which is blogtalkradio.com. And we also want to thank WGSN-DB Going Solo Network for having us on today. You are listening to Boy and Girl Thing. I am Cece Schaff.
I'm Christopher T. Kick Smith.
And it is great having you with us. So what we're going to do now is let's just move right on into, let's get started on dating. Now, you guys have checked out the dating sites. We've told you some of the hot ones that are out there. We're going to close the show with some of the awful ones. So we want to make sure you grab a pen and paper, and so that you can make sure you write them down so you don't go on these sites. But let's talk quickly about how to start getting online and what you can do to help you. Any questions that you might have, just call us at 323-870-4162. We are live, and we're happy to take any questions that you have. It's 323-870-4162. Okay, Chris, now we've gone ahead and decided we're going to start on the dating site. So what do we do first?
Well, you got to pick one out. And my suggestion, in a positive way, my suggestion is use one of the larger ones, large being one of the ones that has the most subscribers. And that would be Match, Zeus, Plenty of Fish, okay? The reason being is that they will also provide you with the largest number of people for you to view, increase your percentage for success, and then you can decide after that if you want to get into one of the niche dating sites. Niche dating sites are focused on a belief, an activity, a hobby, something if you're really into something, and it's almost today, it almost doesn't even matter what it is you're into. We've got an internet dating site just for you.
Right.
Okay.
So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and start with a picture. You want to make sure you put a nice picture of yourself, put a straight body.
As we progress in the week coming forward, we're going to address each segment of how to prepare your profile, how to do your pictures, what pictures you should be using, and how to set up the whole entire narrative, what you should be including. We're going to address all those things.
So you just want to know that when you do put your picture on, and some of the things of the industry, the dating industry, online dating industry, that you need to know is that your picture will sometimes be shared on other sites, whether you've signed up for them or not, because they own all of those sites. And once you put your picture on there, they kind of own your picture. So you want to be very careful with the pictures that you display on there. So you want to kind of limit the pictures that you put on, and you want to make sure that you put pictures that are appropriate, that if anyone sees it, it's not going to be a hang-up, a problem, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't waste your allotted pictures on creating a travel brochure or a family album.
Right. And you don't want to put your family up there. I think it's better.
People do.
I know they do, but you don't want to do that. Don't put your kids' pictures up there. If you need to wait and take a proper picture, then go ahead and get your friend to take a picture for you. But, be very careful with that. We're going to talk about profiles a little bit later on in another show, because that's a big, big topic, and it's a long topic. But I wanted to share just a picture real quick, and we'll go into more depth in the next show about it. But if you do put a picture up there, you need to know that the dating industry does display your picture. It's
almost not even an if. If you're going to enter into online dating, it is for a lot of people, I don't want to say I'm sorry to say, because that's not true, but the reality is you better plan on putting a picture up there. Before you even sign up and create a username or a password, you better have some pictures ready to go.
Yeah.
It is all about the pictures.
Well, and that's true. You need to get real about this. If you're going to go online dating, you have to be serious about it. You have to be prepared to put your picture up, write a little bit about yourself. You have to be prepared to take some time out to be able to go on and check your profile and check your messages to see if you have any. You need to be prepared to write messages back to people. And I feel you need to be courteous about it. And if someone, even if they don't, if you're not interested in them, you need to write them a little something back and just say, you live too, I'm always kind. I look and see if they live too far away. I just say, you live too far away, and I'm sorry, thank you very much. That kind of thing. We'll talk about that in another show because there's so much to cover. But what we want you to do is take away from this show the fear of online dating, because I don't feel personally that you should be fearful of it. Do you?
No, not any longer.
No. And I think there's some elements that, and we will share these in other shows. And if you stay and listen to WGSN-DB Going Solo Network on goingsolonetwork.com, we have more shows that will follow our show. And one of them, Lisa Copeland talks about scams that online dating. And you got those. You got negative stuff. You've got negative people, but you have positive people, wonderful people that are on the site.
Absolutely.
And so we want to take the fear away.
While I still haven't made the ultimate connection, which I still believe I will one of these days, I still believe in it. I have made absolutely some of the most wonderful friends through the dating sites. It just didn't move to the next level, but we became great friends.
And so we'll talk about that.
And I'm very grateful for that.
And maybe we can help him. What do you think, guys out there, ladies and gals? Well, we're going to help him do that. So let's move on and talk about some of these crazy
niche dating sites.
Yeah, and there's one out there for anyone.
Just about anything that you could think of that's important to you. Religion, activity, a sport, a lifestyle, you name it, we've got a dating site that's got people in it for you.
Okay, I did a little bit of research and I came up with 13 top online dating sites that are not very good for you. And this is what Tango said. The first one is Delightful, which is Steve Harvey's site, believe it or not. And he went on to say that the online dating service for women to make them more dateable. And he feels that this particular Tango felt that this wasn't a really good site. It's because the women are a problem. It's saying that women are a problem, not men who've been divorced twice, married a woman who they've cheated on, second spice, and all that kind of thing. So they're
Are you saying that men are the problem?
Well, this particular article by Tango said it's because women are the problem. And we know women, we're not the problem. So anyhow, we're going to say X that one off. Okay, the next one is Sugar Daddy for Me.
Here I am.
I don't know why that one is on the list. I think I don't think we have to really say anything about that, but it's kind of a glorified prostitution online site.
Yeah.
This is what the article said. So Sugar Daddy for Me is a second one to stay away from. The other one is Miss Travel. And I kind of agree with them. They were saying it's basically like Sugar Daddy for Me, but you have the potential danger of going overseas to a place that you're not familiar with. So, do you really want to travel overseas to meet somebody that you don't know?
No.
Yeah. So that's a little bit unsafe. So I'm not sure about that site either. I like this one, the Ugly Schmucks. So if you feel you're an ugly schmuck, you should join this. Or if you like ugly schmucks, you could join this site, which is very funny. Tinder, Tinder was on the list, and, we've all heard about Tinder. So they felt that the site was a bit shallow. Then we have Luxy, which is Tinder for poor people. That's what the article said. So I don't know about that. Beautiful people. Hey, I kind of would like beautiful people. I don't know. We all are beautiful somewhere, deep within.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, this one
what
says,
is that one? Beautifulpeople.com?
Yeah, it's more.
I think I might just go home and sign up for that one.
I know. It says it's more focused on people that have had plastic surgery. They're into gym, hair extensions, all that.
Never mind.
Tanning.
I can't do that.
the Jersey Shore kind of look.
Whoa. Now you're walking in delicate territory.
Now,
Jersey
the next
Shore?
one is OkCupid. Now, OkCupid, that's been around for a while.
Wow, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not quite sure if it says is admitted to experimenting with bad matches to see if the users would fall for it and then link up with another one. So, I mean, what they're saying is that the dating site itself would provide you with bad matches to see if you'd be interested in them. So have you ever gone on and it said, well, the guy wants to meet you or the gal wants to meet you? Well, they pull these pictures to see if you'll get desperate enough to say, okay, well, maybe it's a photograph that's bad and I'll try for it, So I guess this particular site, they're saying that they were found to do that. Hot or not, great way to find love, but it's a great way to lower your self-esteem. So hot or not, I don't know. I don't know. Dating Twitter is another one. Dating Twitter is an amazing way to find love. You want to sell in diet pills and penis enlargement supplements. So I guess they sell a lot of stuff on dating Twitter. Craigslist Personals. How about that one? I think we've all heard of Craigslist Personals. And my favorite one, this is which I think should be the number one worst dating site, is Meet an Inmate. So Meet an Inmate is actually a great online dating site, but only if you hate your parents. I thought that was funny. So we do have some other ones which are for like cat lovers. There's a website for them.
Oh, there's horse lovers, farmers, motorcycles,
golfers. Okay, I guess we're coming down to the end of the show, but we have food allergies, people that like mustaches, geeks, all of them. You name it.
The bottom line is, if these things are really, really important to you, there's a niche dating site out there for you.
Yeah.
It doesn't even hardly shoe fetish. I mean, it doesn't even matter. If you Google it, you'll find a dating website that matches up to it.
But here's what we're telling you, is that there is a dating site for you. There is someone out for you. That's what we don't want you to do. And, take advantage of the internet and use it to your best abilities. And that's what we'd like for you to do tonight. Think about it if you haven't been on it before.
We're here to help you do. We're here to help you have a more enjoyable and more pleasant experience and help you navigate through all of the difficulties and start having fun.
So we are going to have to close the show, but it was really great being here. You are listening to blogtalkradio.com and WGSN-DB Going Solo Network. This is the Boy and Girl Thing, and I'm Cece Schack.
And I'm Christopher T. Smith.
And we can't wait to come back. And when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about dating and what you need to do as far as getting your profile ready. We talked a little bit about pictures. We'll go more in depth with that. But we want to really get into the segment of dating to help you be able to do that. So bye for now.
You're listening to WGSN-DB, Going Solo Network, Singles Talk Radio channel, where we take a lighthearted and candid approach to discussions on the journey of relationship loss, divorce, parenting, being single, relationships building, dating, and yes, sex. Join our listeners and begin living your best life.